The very beginning?
Yes.
Okay. So today I'm going to be talking about the Neighbor Sky Disk. The Neighbor Sky Disk is 3,600 years old and is said to be the earliest picture of the universe. And then as you see in the picture behind me, the Neighbor Sky Disk is a greenish disk with a picture of a full moon, a crescent moon, and 32 stars, all in gold. You should listen to me because I can help you become better educated on foreign cultural artifacts. The Neighbor Sky Disk is actually, till this very day, still considered one of the biggest mysteries in the world. Because, in fact, when scientists first started to study it, most of them believed that it was fake because they didn't think that someone from the Bronze Age would be able to create such an accurate picture of the universe without any technological help. So today I'm going to be talking about three main topics. The first one being the origins of the Neighbor Sky Disk, such as where it came from, who found it, and what it was used for. Second, I'm going to talk about the great civilization known as the Bronze Age that actually created the Neighbor Sky Disk. And third, I'm going to talk about the collapse of the Bronze Age. So the Neighbor Sky Disk was actually found in a forest near Neighbor, Germany. That's where it gets its name. And it actually wasn't found by scientists, or archaeologists. It was found by amateur treasure hunters using metal detectors. And at first when they discovered this, they originally tried to sell it to a foreign antique collector for $400,000. But ultimately they failed. They were found and arrested in the basement of a bar in Switzerland. When scientists recovered it, most of them thought it was used to determine if and when a 13th month should be added to a lunar year in order to keep their calendars in sync with the seasons. In other words, it was basically used as an advanced astronomical clock. The only thing scientists can really tell us about the actual person who created the Neighbor Sky Disk is that he was from the Bronze Age, and that he had already both discovered and created an what the Babylonians would later discover a thousand years later. So what's known as the first phase of the collapse of the Bronze Age, we saw more or less every city between Pylos and Gaza violently destroyed. And then pretty much every city after that was either abandoned or destroyed along with them. Except there were a few cities that were able to stabilize and repopulate to some degree. But ultimately the continued pressures brought those cities down as well. As the great historian Robert Deuce said, this was considered actually the worst disaster in ancient history, even worse than the fall of the great Western Roman Empire. This collapse was so bad, in fact, that it actually kind of messed up the next generation. So the collapse of the Great Bronze Age is actually what started the Greek Dark Ages. So today I talked about the Neighbor Sky Disk. I talked about the origins of the Neighbor Sky Disk. Second, I talked about the civilization known as the Bronze Age. And third, I talked about the collapse of the Bronze Age. Now that you know more about the Neighbor Sky Disk and the Bronze Age, I hope you find them as mysterious and interesting as I do. Thank you.